Hey, thanks so much for joining us on these conversations. If this is your first time, then welcome. Myself, Richard Zainot, and Jermaine Bull, we sit down and have a conversation about business, specifically about the issues that small and micro businesses face with. And you may be a solo entrepreneur, and or you might be going for a little while, and you're trying to understand what to do with your business, what you can do in terms of, especially with COVID-19, what are the tools that you have at your exposure, and how to manage through this. But most importantly, we want you to know that you are not alone, that there are other business owners, there are other entrepreneurs like you that are going through some of the challenges that you go through. In this conversation, we speak specifically about insurance, particularly business insurance, for events like COVID-19, what you can do, where you can go if you do have insurance, the research you can put in that can help you through this. Yeah, but I mean, so how does someone like your clients or my client or just some entrepreneur watching this, how do they make, what sense do they make of the information we're telling them here? Because I almost think we're trying to be like a news, like well prepared, but we're not well prepared. We're having a conversation.
Off the cuff. I guess it's how we feeling on the day.
Yeah. So you're talking about the future of CAs. I mean that event was really, like I said, in response to the articles that we were reading from the World Economic Forum, and then you were attending that event. We did pick up clients from that. I mean, still this year, like in COVID, we picked up a client where they had two team members attend the event, and they said they were always meaning to contact us. We weren't very pushy on the sales side of it. We did that event out of just a community thing. We want to obviously establish community and have conversation about business, what's worrying the business person. I think that's what a lot of people were trying to find out, is where do they go. And we had Bronwyn, one of the speakers at that event, who is a CA. I was almost going to say was a CA, but he's a CA, and had transitioned from an accounting professional role into social media management role. It was amazing.
That's right. Yeah.
And I think now she's launching an app, and some of the stuff that she's doing that I still see her doing, like it's amazing to watch that transition of moving your career from one place to another place. And I think where the scary part is for people who actually do love accounting, what does the future look like for them? I mean, your view, Jermaine, like what does the future look like for someone who's an accountant today who actually loves accounting? Like, are they still relevant?
Yeah. I think, Richard, that's a very good question. I think, obviously, from experience, us talking over the years also, we like to think we're just more than, your stereotypical accountant. Because I do think those guys are going to be in trouble. Because generally speaking, accountants don't really want to adapt to change. And I think what that workshop, if I can call it a workshop, what that highlighted, as I was sitting there and listening to her story specifically, as an accountant who, if I could bring an accountant with me, that's not in that's in that specific sector, I think you would be worried, because it's still about numbers for accountants. I don't think they've gelled. I don't think they've gelled the. Now I'm not talking about all accountants, but I just think they haven't really gelled the IT side with the necessary skill set. And the thing that you touched on in that workshop was, come month in, guys lose their minds. You know, there's always stress, and you think it's repetition, but they always lose their minds come month in, a couple of days after month in, and it's like they need a day or two just to recover. And Richard, I promise you now that that mindset is still the same. You know, maybe with what's transpired now for the last couple of months, maybe it will force him to sort of have a rethink. But that certainly highlighted that workshop. I sat there and I was worried for a big majority of accountants, because we went in there wanting to grasp as much knowledge as we could, because we were in that thought process of, you know, we need to change, because we couldn't just do the normal mundane stuff over month-end. So, you know, having a client like you on board sort of put a lot of things for us in perspective, because it's pointless us doing being a service provider, but we're not embracing that change. So yeah, I was afraid for the profession in general. I think they've made some massive strides, you know, over the last year. But you know, more our normal accountant on the street who's got a couple of clients, you know, but worried about them, to be honest.
Yeah, and have you seen changes with your clients? You know, especially through this period, have you seen a change in their attitude towards finance, towards numbers, or call it, you know, finance literacy? Have you seen that maturity happening over the last, well, call it year and a half, and especially now in this last few months?
Yeah, I mean, we've, like yourself, we picked up quite a bit of clients during this period, and but initially while we were pitching for the work, a lot of them, and I think you mentioned it earlier, Richard, where they got, as I call them, bums on seat mentality. They still think that they'd like to see you there in some room, some office, you know, whether you do the work, you know. For me, it's sort of irrelevant. So it comes in with IT, for example. With our whole model is based around outsource, and for that to work, the infrastructure has to be there. So in terms of, I think a majority of our clients understand the numbers. I think they but in terms of that forward planning, in terms of having a tool available to delve even further into the numbers, is I think where we need to be right now. Because, you know, we send them their management packs, and we send them this, and we give them overview of what the numbers are looking like and where they're going. But I'm sure there's more we can do if that infrastructure is right.
Look, you know, I try to think about the stuff that, you know, other business people are asking. You know, what if somebody else, you know, is going through trying times? Maybe they haven't been able to woo any new clients, you know, and they're facing very severe, very real financial issues right now. Like, what can they do? Is there somewhere that they can go? Is there like a business forum they can reach out to? Is there some protection? I was listening to the radio a little bit earlier this evening, and there was a story about a lot of small businesses are actually claiming from the insurance, their short-term insurers for what was it, like, you know, under some act, I can't remember what it was, but some section of your insurance which covers you for, you know, extraordinary events. Yeah. Is that a channel that you think someone could explore? I was trying to remember the.
You're making me wonder now. What's the wording in my insurance policy regarding extraordinary events? Because that could be a very it's a very Yeah, what? I mean, COVID is obviously a extraordinary event, but you know how I'm not about to you know uh, give insurance companies a bad name, but wow, if that's the case, then that's fantastic. And I know with some of the relief uh, sectors that's out there. You know, a lot of people have been complaining about not being able to access it. I mean, just now in the week also I read an article. You know, this 350 rand that they give your ordinary man in the street, and the amount of red tape that's there. You know, I just I almost lost it.
Mm.
You know, it's for me. This is just according to me. For me, it's such a simple process. I mean, I don't think we know the amount of people that's floating about in the in this country. So if anyone comes and they're applying for a grant, you know, do you have an ID document? I mean, doing it that way, you can easily then start documenting people that's not in the system. So it's a very frustrating, you know, the people who really need that cash.
Yeah.
It's not can't really access the money
Yeah.
because of a bit of red tape.
Yeah, I'm reading an article here on MoneyWeb, um,
Yeah.
and it's the business interruption claim. I'm reading this link here. It says TBCSA wants Bueni to intervene on COVID-19 insurance claims. Uh,
Whoa.
yeah, and so this goes into talking about um, there's the insurance are not paying out on these claims, and wanting but we need to do something about it. So yeah, it's,
What's your typical reasons for not honoring? It's not specified.
yeah, I mean, I just sort of looking at this now. I'll go through
Mm.
the whole thing, but yeah, that's what you can find on MoneyWeb. um,
Anyway, yeah,
yeah, so um, interesting. So maybe that's an option for if your business is struggling right now. Maybe you should look at and you've got short-term insurance, which you should have
mm.
in your business. You
Yeah,
can look at that policy and see if there's a way for you to claim, especially like in the tourism industry. Things have been shut down. I think it's opening up now a little bit. It's also read about something about interprovincial tourism has been
tourism. Yeah.
opened up again, which is great because I
Mm.
think even though we've been on lockdown, some of us need a holiday. So that
I need one which is, I definitely need one.
definitely. So yeah, so maybe if you're a small business and you're looking at opportunities, where you can win a little bit of cash to help inject into your business. So either if you've got some insurance policies that you could look at, reach out to your if you've got an agent, reach out to your agency if they can help you,
Broker. Mm.
your
Mm.
broker, and see if there's something that they can connect you with, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of media around it at the moment, so that may help your case if you are claiming
Mm.
against your short-term insurer for something like this.
Mm.
That might be able to help you.
Sure.
Yeah, so wish I had known
Yeah,
that.
I
I
mean,
actually
yeah.
so so
Yeah, I mean,
what happened is when we saw these things coming, we did a hard look at our business and we said, like, do we actually need these things? And we went ahead and we canceled our insurance. We had a few things in place that we ended up canceling, and short-term insurance was one of them. Mainly because we were already had started the process of retiring our traditional
yeah.
offices, so we don't have offices any longer. And our business model, we're changing it slightly. We're trying to change it significantly to move to product rather than services,
Alright.
but at the moment we're
Yes.
still services company. uh, and so yeah, we opted out of our short-term insurance. Maybe I should have looked at it a bit closer before taking that step, and could have come out with something to help the business just ease the
No, for
cash flow
sure.
strains at the moment.
Yeah, yeah. As it is now, just one of the other avenues, the normal one that people's been looking at, as you know, it's obviously your UIF, the TERS. But yet again, the month of June has been troublesome for the department.
Hmm.
Site went up, site went down, security issues. So you'll see a lot of claims being paid out probably mid to end July, if everything is all the records and everything is in is up to scratch. So a lot of clients been phoning just out of frustration. Can we look at the TERS thing? But everything is right. It's just I think they're just inundated with there's a lot of backlog documentation. So yeah.
Yeah,